Welcome back to another edition of Strategic Command World at War, where I'm playing the Allies in the Axis High Tide scenario. And since the last video, Rommel's Panzer Corps has been destroyed in a British counterattack. There's a vicious battle going on in the Siwa Oasis. Italian, German, and British special forces are just fighting for that little piece of desert. And it's still holding. I guess they want to break through and hit Cairo from the desert while putting pressure from the north, while the Japanese are assaulting India. Do they expect to link up? I seriously doubt it, but if they do, I'd have to surrender. So there's a lot going on over here, and I did destroy it. I don't know if they're going to keep on assaulting the Siwa Oasis. I brought an extra mobile unit. They're throwing everything at it, so I'm reinforcing Egypt with as many British air units as I can. The Italian fleet has not been able to challenge me. I'm going to be bringing more reinforcements from England to the Mediterranean and some more ships, while on the west here, Operation Torch is about to happen, where I'm going to be going into the Mediterranean and assaulting Algeria and Tunisia. I'm not going to move this British ship yet. I'm going to wait for the Americans so it has plenty of escorts. And there's another battleship here escorting a armored unit. And I'm going to be bringing this unit from Jerusalem in to join. So I'm going to start pushing westwards. Maybe I can trap some of these units here, destroy these headquarters and air units, and maybe make a push. But Tobruk is fortified. I'm still, with my submarines, I'm keeping a lookout for the Italian fleet as I'm using the carrier aircraft to assist. And possibly I'm going to use in the battleships also. And this is an Indian unit. It belongs in India. It doesn't belong here anymore. I'm going to have to send this over to India. But let's upgrade this corps. Infantry weapons mobility. Gonna do as best as I can here just so they fight at an optimal. I can reinforce this unit here. Okay, Britain doesn't have much, but I'm basically putting everything into Africa for the British right now. And this one did move back, so I'll be ready for the next turn. I want to strengthen everything as best as I can and start launching an offensive. I'm going to have another armor unit coming in. Okay, anti-air. I don't think there's going to be any attacks on Malta. And this unit's going to be going and heading towards India, where it's going to be fighting the Japanese. I do need to purchase an Indian army. How much is that going to cost? 275. So I'm going to save because I do want to purchase an army. This is going to be difficult, but I want to have local superiority over the Japanese because I want to push down towards Rangoon. I'm going to be using the special forces. Maybe they're going to amphibiously move and do some flanking operations while I use the carrier air force. And these air units over here, hopefully they'll be enough to combat the Japanese, whatever they have. As long as China keeps them tied up, but it doesn't look like the Chinese are doing too well. And let's take a look over here. This is not worth it too much to upgrade yet. I don't have the money really, and they're quite distant right now. These South Africans are going to go in here. I think I'm going to move them towards India also. They need to fight somewhere. Well, let's get back to the United States. I don't have anything to spend, but This unit here has been sent to defend Port Moresby. Hopefully that'll be enough. I do have 2 special force units, but they're low on supply, so I can bring this Marine unit in here, Marine Division, and maybe we can cut them off. And plus I have air units here. Now the only thing I want to do is, what do I have over here? I do have an Australian cruiser. All right, because Australia is part of Britain, let's see what I can do important. Do I need to go submarine hunting? See, I do want to upgrade the destroyers. Anti-submarine warfare. Anti-air is not too much, but let's upgrade these here. Mainly anti-submarine. That's very important because I have to do the Battle of the Atlantic. Just anti-submarine. Britain doesn't have much money, that's the problem. Anti-submarine, that's main thing where I'm going to be using these destroyers. Light cruiser, anti-submarine, they're going to be useful in attacking the German U-boats. I know about these battleships. I'm going to keep them over here. It's not really a priority. Let's put this destroyer in here. And do I have anything to chase? Alright, there's a destroyer right here with the level 2 anti-submarine warfare. Let's go hunting. Upgrade. Destroyer. Anti-submarine. And this is pretty much it for Great Britain. And the United States doesn't have anything left here. So I'm going to have to wait till next turn, but do I have anything? Upgrade these maritime anti-submarine. These are not the greatest, but at least we can spot them. Haven't found anything. Well, at least we have some experienced ones coming over here. The United States does not have experienced destroyers yet, but we'll get there. And Britain has spent all its money. US has spent all its money. India is saving money. So let's see, can I still maneuver? This destroyer is going to reinforce for anti-submarine warfare. And let's see what else I can do. This one's already moved. There's a destroyer up here. Let's go to Scapa Flow, and next turn we'll be able to upgrade anti-submarine warfare. That's the main thing. Britain's thing is to fight in North Africa and fight the Battle of the Atlantic. And I'm going to upgrade some more units here possibly and send a few more to Africa. But I think that's everything I can do. Madagascar, what's wood in Brazil? Just garrisons, this is nothing. But it's income for the United States, so that's the nice part. I think I've retreated well enough in the Battle of Midway. I don't know what's going to happen. The carriers are out of the way, and they can get replenished. But I don't know what the Japanese are going to do. I don't have any money to move anything. Port Moresby is safe. Maybe I can push this Australian cruiser. Maybe I can move a submarine here. Move an Australian cruiser up here. Just in case there's any Japanese ships that get any ideas, they may run into that sub first. Let's move this cruiser up here. Let's gradually move the Australian fleet. It's actually part of Britain under British money, but let's move over here. Navarak. Melbourne. This one's going to go towards Darwin. Yeah, there's a Japanese cruiser right here. And this is one's moving to India. I think I've got everything. Watch out. Submarines to watch out for any Italian shipping that may get any ideas. And I think that pretty much takes care of it. Yeah, this is a good Marine unit here. But I don't know what to do. Marine tanks. Tanks, when they land, they don't have any supply. At least the Marine Special Force units, they do have supplies. So I'm going to use them more effectively. And MacArthur. I'll let him wait here. The Battle of Port Moresby will continue. I'm going to save money for India. I'm pretty much broke. And now it's time to watch what the Soviets and the Chinese are doing. Makes it more interesting because it's not playing efficiently. But I don't know how AI versus AI. There are concentrating clumps of force as well. Moving backwards to replenish with armor, that's a good idea. Will it be enough against the German panzers? I don't want Moscow to fall. That would be terrible. Niet, Moscow will never fall. Not through my sector. Watching that series, The Winds of War from the 1980s. Ouch. There's a Soviet headquarters right in the way. If I can defeat the Axis in North Africa and put pressure on Italy, and possibly it will divert some units to Western Europe and relieve the Russians, but... And another mistake the Soviet AI is making is it's deploying way too many units in the Siberian front on Manchuria. I don't think that's advisable. It doesn't need that many. I don't think Japan's got the ability to declare war. Well, that helps. Madagascar is going to be taken the following turn. That should be a surrender. It means more income for Britain. And Britain, it's doing okay. I know the American destroyers are not equipped well with anti-submarine warfare. I don't think they can build anything, so you're gonna have to fight the Battle of the Atlantic because sinking U-boats will lower the morale of the German. If the Soviets can just keep on building, and they may be able to hold. Yeah. Yeah, Japanese Navy is very aggressive. And they captured Midway Island and are holding my seagulls hostage. It's just an island loaded with seagulls. And here goes the Battle of the Siwa Oasis. Vicious fighting in the temple of Amun-Ra. When the soldiers run out of ammunition, they dig up old rusted Roman swords and just hand-to-hand combat. I mean, it's vicious in the Siwa Oasis. Oh no, it's going to fall. Don't tell me it's going to collapse. That would be terrible. Rostov will fall. Now there goes the city. Assault on Voronezh. It makes it more interesting, the AI playing the Soviet Union, because it's not that good. I would have played differently. Looks like Sevastopol's going to fall. Yes, it did. Oh. Vizhny Volochysk is being hit. And now comes a drive to the Caucasus. To the Caucasus and Stalingrad. Oh, the Chinese lost a unit. Well, I'm not going to make much progress there, I don't think. A renewed battle of Moscow is occurring. That was a mistake, that Chinese unit. They lose another unit. The Axis are doing really well on the ground. Oh no! This is terrible. The Temple of Amun-Ra has been captured. There, they just cut off a Soviet unit. They're just taking a lot of casualties. This is... A Veliki Luki is a thorn. China cannot afford to just lose so many units. Because if the war in China is over, they can send everything towards India, so I'm going to have to put the pressure. But if Foochow can keep on reinforcing, it's going to hold up Japanese units. Moresby is not falling. Tula, Kaluga, a renewed offensive towards Moscow while there's another drive towards the Caucasus. this is not good. And the Siwa Oasis has fallen. That was really devastating. Now the Japanese are bringing up some artillery and possibly some air units towards Burma. It's just nasty rain, rain, rain. Communist China is in the fight. Well, that helps a bit. And let's take the capital of Madagascar first. Wow. This is terrible. Ooh. Well, I lost a cruiser. Canada. Put him over here. And let's take Madagascar, take the capital, and there should be income for Britain. After that's gone, that's taken. And now critical, Port Moresby. Oh. It is raining, of course. I cannot use my air units. Okay. Yes. Excellent. Let's reinforce that. The Marines, at least I can take Fishhaven, and I can trap those Japanese units and keep Port Moresby from falling. But that's nice to get that Japanese bomber. Oh, I wish. Can't do anything here. Let's check Midway. This submarine needs to get the heck, save itself. This aircraft carrier needs to save itself at Pearl. I'm just going to back off. And take my losses and just rebuild and start an offensive. Let's bring this battleship over here. Let's move him. These Marine units. Can move to Pearl Harbor and then attempt some amphibious operations. I do need some more carriers. I do have maritime bombers here, so they can bomb anything that comes this way. I'm going to be able to save the submarine. I did not want to lose that submarine. And I got time to refit these carriers. continue with the torch, let's see what I can do over here in Africa. I lost the Siwa Oasis. If I can destroy Rommel's core, that would be an excellent maneuver. Let's begin the siege of Mirza Matru. See if I can destroy Rommel's headquarters. Did a good job. Excellent. Shattered. So there's one headquarters gone, destroyed. My fighter is attacking the bombers. Let's hit that one again. Hit that bomber again. Organize this here. They're not going to be able to move, but this unit has. So Mirza Matru is surrounded, and I'm moving some more units. I do have the German and Italian air, but they're going to have to move or else be destroyed. Even though the Germans took the Siwa Oasis, I'm launching a counterattack north and should cut them out of supply. I'm not going to do anything fancy. This Indian unit's going to sail. This unit goes back to Baghdad. Yeah, this one's going to move up here and we're going to assault Mirza Matru. That German unit is trapped. So that's pretty much everything I can do in Egypt. But destroying the Rommel headquarters, that really helps a lot. Now let's continue with the Operation Torch. Bring the battle fleet in. Set mode, make sure the mode is correct here. And now let's just keep on bringing the transports. There's the invasion fleet. Two of them are going to be hitting Algiers, and two of them are going to be hitting Tunis. And then the headquarters can land, and hopefully we can capture Tripoli from the rear and completely pincer the Axis units in Africa. The French on Dakar, I don't have much. I'll put them on a transport because once the landings occur over here and surrender the French unit, I can use the French unit for diversionary tactics against Sardinia, possibly. British battleship. Armored transport. Got to be careful because I don't want to get caught by the Italian Navy. So I'm going to put the French battleship here and a British battleship here to escort this armor unit. And upgrade destroyer, anti-submarine. And let's start bringing these destroyers out. Start hunting for German U-boats. Yeah, the U.S. is not doing too well. It takes a while for the U.S. to get into the war. Upgrade anti-submarine. Britain still has. Ah, there's a U-boat right there. Oh! Wow. Back off. I do need to gang up on them because that is a lot. I need to reinforce. Anti-submarine. I don't want the Kriegsmarine that comes out and hits that destroyer. That would be terrible. So I'm going to bring a heavy cruiser out here just in case a German capital ship comes out. There goes all the British money. Let's bring the battleships up here. I don't need them anywhere else. Just in case the Krieg... Because this is where the German submarines are going to be coming back. Is either to Norway or through the North Sea. So I want to be able to encounter them. Anything in the channel, I think I can get them with my... Possibly with some air units. Yeah, this is all going to take time because the Battle of the Atlantic is very important. Let's go over here. Need to upgrade this one. See if I can find anything. Nothing. Oh, there he is. Darn it. Now, unfortunately, these are level 3 U-boats. These United States destroyers are no match. I need to do some research. Britain. Do have to research anti-submarine warfare. U.S. is already researching. They already got enough 2 chits in there. They need to develop anti-submarine warfare. They're not doing very well in that. So it's going to be mostly the British destroyers that are going to be doing the damage. Let's operate the 8th strategic bombers. I want to put them in a centralized position just in case. And let's operate some fighters. So there is some air cover in Britain. Okay, tactical bombers. Let's move some tactical bombers over to northern Australia. Supplies better. Just in case the weather's good, I'll have 2 of them on the Japanese here. Concentrating more on the Pacific right now, but I'm going to build some more, and when the time's right. Let's move this cruiser up here. Submarine can go back in here and just to investigate, because I want to destroy everything in Port Moresby and then possibly capture Ley. United States is down to 288. What can I purchase? Okay, research. Let's see. I make sure infantry weapons. Put another one. I do need better research. Then I'm going to build some more units. I gotta have infantry weapons. Infantry warfare. I mean, I'm so backwards. This is and I also have to invest in amphibious. Well, I'm up to 3, so that's good, and 4, so I'm doing well in that. But I mean, U.S. needs to get on the ball with things here. Australian cruiser in Darwin. Britain doesn't have that much to spend anymore. Infantry weapons. Mobility is not that important with the island hopping. We're not fighting major tank battles. Anti-aircraft, of course, so we can upgrade these units. This cruiser needs to go in here. Naval weaponry, anti-submarine, that's for sure. But I do have a lot of air power coming over here, so. Anderson headquarters, I don't need them. Possibly move some more units to Africa, but I do have enough American and British air to protect England. Not that anybody's going to invade, it's just. And I'm not that. I don't know what strategic bombing. I've never really done that well with them. But if the Germans start bombing and everything, I can always upgrade these towns with anti-aircraft. So everybody's moving from the torch landings. It's another British cruiser. Let's move them up. I know the Iceland route. Any U-boats, these maritime bombers can pounce on them. But the American destroyers are no match for these U-boats right now. So, gonna have to do. U.S. is gonna have to do some major anti-submarine warfare. The British are much better at it. And you are aware I'm losing the war. All right, this one's at least is level 2, but I wish it could be level 3. And so all I can do right now is reinforce the torch landings. I'm going to have to, let's see what the United States has for purchase. What is in the production list? Yeah, a bunch of carriers and fleets, so I'm going to have to build more infantry. I'm going to have to build armor, airborne units, and more air units so I can get ready for Europe. But I believe there'll be plenty of carriers. I'll be able to launch an offensive. Expeditionary New Zealand Corps. I don't know, an armor unit. I'm going to be using this Marine unit. I'm going to have to build more Marines. Okay, 32. I have 60 left. Okay, I don't need mobility. Let's transport these units towards Hawaii. Then we can... I'm going to capture all these islands here. So I need to build up enough air units and carrier fleets and very good amphibious technology so I can capture all these islands. I have to liberate Midway too. But in the meantime, I don't know what the Japanese fleet's going to do. If they're going to try to come at me in Hawaii, which would be a mistake, I think, at this point. Because I do have maritime bombers. And my carriers are going to be... So I'm going to have air units over here. But I'm really going on the offensive because I want to destroy these special forces units in New Guinea and save Port Moresby. At least I got this one protecting Darwin from amphibious invasion if the Japanese decided, but I do want to capture all this here. I do want to take all this eventually. But first, top priority is protecting Port Moresby. If I can capture Fishhaven, that would be excellent because then I think the Japanese supply will be in a critical situation. Down to 32.16. I got nothing left. Right, ready to hit torch. I think another 2 turns. Probably October, November, I can start landing in Tunisia and Algeria. I'm going to keep the British Navy exactly where it's at. This unit's going to be sailing to India, and okay, I do have India also. I almost forgot. I was ready to do another turn. First, I got to reinforce this unit. I'm still going to save money. There is a bomber unit right here. I'm going to put a submarine unit here just in case some Japanese ships may want to come through here, which is a possibility. They may want to launch an offensive. The terrain is just terrible. I'm going to have to get mobility. But I do need to purchase some units, so I need to save up with India. Let's take a look. Purchase Great Britain. Okay, there's nothing. I have to build everything for India, and Britain's getting a couple more destroyers, so I'm going to have to build for Britain. I'm going to have to build land and air units for the United States. This is going to take a while. And in the meantime, the Soviet Union may collapse, so... if I got good weather here, I could do 2 strikes on this air unit, and then bomber strike, fighter strike. I don't know. I'm going to start bringing some units to counterattack. Well, I can't do anything right now. This is it, pretty much. The Midway force is just defense. Battleship coming. Pretty much worthless. This unit for later, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to be using mostly... well, I can keep one over here, but I'm going to be using mostly Marines and special force units for the Pacific. And maybe later build some army units. But I don't think I have the luxury to operate them yet. I'm just going to have to build a massive fleet and counter the Japanese, so... let's do a continuation turn and see what happens here. I think I've done everything I can for the Brits and the Americans. I mean, look at all the Soviet units over here. I think about 5 or 6 of them. Well, they definitely don't need this one, that one, and that one. There's 3 armies that could be elsewhere. And all the Soviets have just units clumped around Leningrad, Moscow, and the Caucasus are wide open right now. I mean, they can just walk right in. This could be dangerous. See what happens. Well, they got a little help from the communists, but at least the Germans are retreating their weakened units and not getting destroyed. There's a unit that's going to surrender. It's completely encircled. that unit's. Madagascar surrenders, so a little more income for Britain. Every little bit helps. The Vichy French forces gave up. 435, 635, so USR. Now I'm going to watch the slaughter. Germans are just going to be pounding on the Soviets. If Moscow falls, I will be devastated. But I really want to crush the Axis. Yeah, good lay is going to be taken. At least the Chinese are reinforcing Foochow. That's turning out to be a nightmare for the Japanese. Maybe he'll be able to counter with some cruisers. See here, the Japanese. I knew they were coming. I knew the Japanese Navy was going to be striking that in that direction. Oh my God, they got a lot of air units. Oh no, Voronezh has fallen. No. These are all national morale objectives. Hold, Foochow, hold. Tula falls. Morozov's gonna fall. I'm surprised they haven't gained more units in Veliki Luki. Why isn't that unit retreating? Well, they can't advance further than one. All right, soldiers of Kronstadt, defend. They are just so dominant. The Japanese are in China and the Germans in the Soviet Union getting destroyed. Yeah, well, that's not going to work. Going to try to encircle Moscow. It's well defended, but if Grozny, Baku, all that falls, I could surrender. Look at they got so much of the Soviet Union. There we go, Krasnodar. Okay, there comes some more units. I figured they would bring some more units to take out Veliki Luki. Well, that's a mistake, I think. Because now I think I can upgrade the weapons. Maybe the Japanese are having some supply problems. Yeah, that. Well, the Japanese fleet near Midway hasn't done anything to press any attacks. So, well, the Soviets only lost 3 units, so. Well, there's a carrier. Ooh, an airborne unit can drop into Darwin if it wants to. The mighty Italian Tarawa. Yeah, I figured those islands are all fortified. Let's bring out another destroyer. That's what I'm saying. If I can... Okay, this is captured, so... I can reinforce that. All right, let's attack. There are interceptors here, so that's good. Nice. Let's hit them again. I'm glad I brought these air units. All right, there's one unit shattered. That's good. I'm glad I brought these air units here because now Port Moresby is not going to fall. And this Maizuru unit has been cut off completely since I took Fishhaven. So I think the Battle of New Guinea is won. I know the Japanese are going to try to bring some ships in. But I'm not going to get crazy here. Excellent. Oh, nice. Even if I take damage, I can retreat. All right, there's a destroyer gone. That's all very important because I don't know how many destroyers the Japanese have, but if I can hit them hard without losing any, I sunk one right there. Good. Looks like Port Moresby will hold. My Marines just came in time and took Fishhaven. So I think I can take the rest of New Guinea, possibly, all this here. But that's not a priority right now. I think a priority would be to take all these Guadalcanal. But if I can win a naval victory here, and maybe my bombers, I can bring the air units to New Guinea and just start bombing any Japanese ships there and contest. Because they're bringing their aircraft over here, so maybe that will relieve China. So I'm going to have to look at this here. I definitely must reinforce the carriers. It's going to take a while to rebuild them and then get them back out to sea. This unit must go into port. I'm glad I didn't lose this submarine unit. But can I reach? No, I can't. All right, I think this has gone far enough. I'm hunkering down in Hawaii. I destroyed a Japanese Marine unit in New Guinea. And I think that's a good time to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching.